What's up, hustlers? Welcome back to the Data Hustler. In today's video, we are diving into a real SQL question asked in the Amazon Business Analyst support role test. You will see the exact tables, the expected output, and how to break it down like a pro, all in just a few minutes. Whether you are preparing for Amazon or any analyst role, this is a must watch. Let's dive in. So, our third problem statement is check the tables named login and annotation. Write a query to get the following output. 4 marks. So, this is a table which is having order ID and login, and this is table annotation which is having order ID and annotation. So, this is our expected output. So, in our expected output, we should have order ID, login, and customer type. Pause this video for a moment and try to figure out can you get the expected output from the given tables. Okay, here is how I will do. First I created the login table and inserted values to the login table, and then I created annotation tables and inserted value to annotation. Here is our login table. Here is our annotation table. Now let's see how we can get the expected output. We are doing a simple inner join here using order ID, which is common in both the tables. Then we use write annotation of 2 to extract the last 2 characters of the annotation string, which gives us an NC, VC, or whatever the customer type is. Why it works? Because the value we want, customer types, always appear at the very end of the string. So write is the fastest and cleanest way to grab it. Now let's run the query and see whether it is working or not. Yeah. So you have to be familiar with this concept, how to get the last 2 elements of the string. So this is the column we are fetching the data, and these are the last 2 entry points of that column. This was an easy one. Moving on to the fourth problem statement. Here, check the table named customers and write query to get the following information. Weightage of 3 marks. Table customer with the columns customer ID, order date, marketplace ID, and number of items. So it is subdivided into 2 problems. Total items purchased by each customer in each marketplace ID with minimum number of items. So feel free to pause this video here and try to write it down yourself. Here is how I would do it. First I created the customers table, then inserted the values to the customers table. Here is the customers table containing customer ID, order date, marketplace ID, and number of items. So our first problem statement is to find the total items purchased by each customer and each marketplace. So this each is our hint that we'll have to do something with the group by. We'll have to group by customer and marketplace as well. This part is simple. We just do group by on both customer ID and marketplace. Let's run the query and see. This gives the total number of items each customer bought grouped marketplace wise. It's a classic use of aggregation in real business dashboard. And we are doing an aggregate function sum to find the total number of items for these combinations. Let's move to the second problem statement. Marketplace ID with the minimum number of items. We now want to find the marketplace where the fewest items were sold overall. If you are using SQL Server instead of MySQL, you can use top 1 instead of limit, because top 1 will not work in MySQL. This kind of question is super common in analyst interviews. Always think in terms of grouping when it's about totals, ordering when it's about minimums or maximum, and you will crush it. I will run it and see you the output once. So our question was to find the minimum one. So what I am doing is I am fetching the marketplace ID and I am counting how many number of items are there. I give that alias as item count from the customer table, and I am grouping based on marketplace ID. So if I didn't set the limit 1 here, I will show the output here. Here I will get the output as, see, everything. For this marketplace, I have 1 item, this marketplace 2 item, and this marketplace 3 items. So I have ordered by, so it will come in the order of ascending order. So this first row is our answer which we are seeking for. So that's why I am limiting by the first top row. So it will get the output as like this, which is the minimum item count for that marketplace. I hope that was an easy one. Moving on, Check the table named investigator and write query to get the following information. 4 marks for this one. Table investigator containing columns like login, manager, score, function and country. So it is breaking down into 2 problem statement. Get the third highest score and login within the function BRI without using top or limit keyword. This is very common in most of the analyst interview and not just in Amazon. List all the logins whose score is lesser than an average scores of all the logins. This is another easy one. You can easily solve it with the help of a subquery. And this one you cannot use these 2 keywords and you have to solve it without that. Give it a try by yourself before checking out my answer. Okay, here is how I will do it. First I created a table investigator and inserted the value to it. And this is the table. This is our investigator table containing all the values. And our first problem statement was get the third highest score and the login within the function BRI without using top or limit keyword. So this is one way to approach this problem statement with the help of Windows function. So what I am doing here is we first filter only BRI function entries. This is where is used for filtering based on this criteria. Then we assign a row number to each row sorted by score in descending order. That's why we are using the row number Windows function and we are sorting in descending order of score. Then we assign a row number to each row sorted by score in descending order. Finally, we select the row where the row number is equal to 3, which gives us the third highest score. This is a classic example how to use Windows function to solve a query. And this is one of the easiest example application of Windows function. So whenever you come across a scenario where the interviewer is asking you to not use top or limit keyword, then you should think in a way, so how can I solve this with the help of a Windows function? That's exactly what they are looking for. And this is one of the easiest. Once you understand this logic, I am creating one query. This is just for a subquery wise. You can create, you can solve this with the help of another kind of subquery as well. But this is a basic way of doing. Once you are familiarized with this thing, then it will be easy to crack any SQL interviews. Moving on, our second problem statement was to list all the logins whose score is lesser than the average scores of all the logins combined. So we have to find the logins which is lesser than the average scores of the other logins. So first we have to find the average logins. So this average logins will be the average scores of all the logins will be the inner query. Then in the outer query we will be putting a lesser than and we will get the answer. This is simple. So with the help of a simple subquery you can solve this thing. Here we are using a scalar subquery to calculate the overall average score. Then we return all logins whose score is lesser than the average.